May Allah bless Halima Aden. May Allah bless her mother just as much, because she also deserves a lot of credit. No one person makes this kind of a decision, a courageous one, to walk away from millions, to choose your deen over the dunya, to understand that that this dunya is not the end goal. To make that decision takes a lot. And her mother deserves a lot of credit, because it starts at home. For someone to make that kind of a decision, she would have been taught value, taught the deen. I'm sure her mother instilled a foundation in her that she can always fall back on. That if it ever came down to whether you should choose your deen or your dunya, you should choose the deen. And that's something that is very important in today's society, is the element of family. How much a family plays a role in people's decisions, in kids' decisions today. We see a lot of kids out there, a lot of the youth being affected, gun violence, and all these things going on. And as much as we like to point fingers at the person and say, oh, you shouldn't have been in that neighborhood, he shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have been engaging in drugs and gangs, and he shouldn't be doing this and that. As much as we like to do that, we should also look to the home, and see what's going on there. What has caused this child to go into the streets? What has caused this child to do the things that they're doing today? What's happening there? And sometimes knowing the health of the family, knowing the health of the household will give you an answer to that person's decisions. Sometimes a lot of people make decisions based on their family and how the structure of their family is. And what Halima Aden did is, we have to applaud her mother, because she's given her that. And Halima Aden has also praised her mother, and said, and that her decision was based on her mother constantly reminding her of the deen, that this dunya is not the end. And I think we should take that into consideration. We should understand that family is everything, and that it starts at home. And I'm not gonna say, hey, you should run and take Halima Aden as your role model. You should look to her for everything. I'm not gonna say that, because as long as we're living, as long as I'm living, as long as Halima Aden is living, as long as every other person is living, they're prone to mistakes. They're gonna make mistakes. We hope that we don't die in our mistakes. We hope that we don't die in our disobedience. We hope that we don't die in our bad decisions. But as long as we're alive, we will continue to make mistakes. Some small, some big, some life-changing. Some might influence others. So I'm not going to say, hey, you should take Halima Aden as your role model and, follow her footsteps. No, I'm going to always point you to the direction of the highest excellence. The Prophet's wives, the scholars of our times, the Prophet's wife Khadija, Aisha, all these role models that we have in our deen. That's who I will point you to, because like I said, as long as we're alive, we will make mistakes. But the ones who have passed away can't make any more mistakes. We can learn from them. They were our role models. So what if tomorrow, God forbid, Halima Aden makes a decision to return and take those millions and do what they need her to do? what am I going to say if I guided you to her and I told you to go follow her and follow her footsteps and do this and do that? What are those little girls going to look at? They're going to look at like, oh, wow, like all hope is gone. Look, she did that. She went back. And then you have young girls confused about that and misguided yet again. So I'm going to say, what she did was courageous. Don't get me wrong. I applaud her because no person is going to wake up today and say no to millions, say no to fame, because we know today social media is the biggest devil out there. A lot of young girls want fame quick. They want millions quick. They want attention. They want the wrong kind of love. They want all these things. And social media has highlighted that, you should do things to gain followers. You should do things, to make yourself, as a competitor to every other girl out there. And, you should behave like this, behave like that. In this day and age, to say no to all that and to focus on your goal of the Deen is such a big step. And I applaud her for that. This is not taking anything away from her. But this is just highlighting that your role model should always be to those that have shown excellence, that have pulled us close to the Deen, that has taught us about the Deen, taught us how to live our lives. The prophets, the Sahabas, our mothers, of the Deen. Those should be our role models. Yes, look to what she did, the decisions that she took. Such a big decision. And girls should learn from that. Young girls should see that and say, there's nothing to the industry. There is nothing to the industry. They want you to conform. This is a war on the Muslim woman. This is a war. And sometimes it takes someone going that far to realize that, you can never be accepted in your truest form. A Muslim woman will never be represented in her truest form. She will never be accepted in her truest form. This industry will never accept the Muslim woman. And it's evident. They always try to change the Muslim woman. They don't like how she wears her scarf. They don't like that she's modest. They don't like that she doesn't curse. They don't like that she doesn't speak in such a vulgar way. They don't like that she doesn't hug men. They don't like that she doesn't shake hands. They don't like that she loves her family. They don't like that she has family ties. They don't like that she listens to her parents. They don't like any of that. And this industry will not accept the Muslim woman in her truest form and use her as a representative for their brand or their culture or whatever, things that they're coming up with. The Muslim woman eventually will lose her identity. Because this industry is a devilish industry. You have to sell yourself. In order to make it big in this industry, you have to strip naked. You have to say yes, yes, yes to everything that they want you to do. That's the reality. Whether you like it or not, it's the reality. They want you to strip naked. They want to show that the Muslim woman is nothing more than a piece of meat. You can tell her what to do, that she would choose us over her God, that she would choose us over her religion, that she wouldn't mind disowning her family and leaving her community for a couple of millions. That's what they're trying to show. This is a war on the Muslim woman. And a lot of girls don't understand that. A lot of girls don't understand the war that is happening in front of them. These people are looking to strip you from your hijab. They can't stand that you love God more than them. You know, the devil can't stand that you're choosing Allah over him. You know, the devil already made a promise to Allah that he will misguide everyone. He will misguide everyone. So you have to understand that this industry is not for you. And we don't need representation everywhere in this industry, in every sector. Every sector does not need representation. We don't need a Muslim woman to represent Playboy. We don't need the Muslim woman to represent a fitness magazine where she has to strip naked or she has to wear a certain type of bikini or something to show that, oh yeah, we're accepted in the bikini industry, we're accepted into the magazine industry. We don't need that. The Muslim woman does not belong in every sector of the industry. She does not. Our deen doesn't allow us to go into every sector. We don't need representation. In the name of diversity, some industries, they'll will you in, they'll pull you in. Oh, come on, we need a hijabi. We need a hijabi to represent. You know, we want to show that, you know, we're catering to every part of the world, every part, you know, every religion. So what we're going to do, we're going to pull in a hijabi that thinks that, you know, we're going to give her the fame that she wants. We're going to give her the millions that she wants. And we're going to put her on the poster. And here's Playboy. And the Muslim woman, unfortunately, you know, a lot of youth, a lot of young girls don't know what they're getting themselves into. So they go into these positions thinking that, hey, you know, everyone likes me. I'm well known now. And they're looking for something that they never had, and they gain acceptance and all this other stuff, and then not realizing that they're moving away from who they are. They're losing their identity. That's what the industry will do to you. It will conform you to what they want you to be. And you won't realize that if you're in it, you're getting the millions, you're getting the fame, you're getting the attention. And you won't realize that, because you'll realize at the end when they've stripped everything away from you. And you'll look to yourself and you look in the mirror and not recognize who you are. You won't even recognize that you're Muslim. Because you've become so lost in this attention-seeking industry. This industry is modern-day slavery. Exploiting women. They can't sell a car without a woman being there. They can't sell an item without using a woman as a bait. Come on. You can't tell me that you're going to go into this industry, you know, with a hijab and expect that they'll accept you as, you know, as a hijabi. You can't. They will never accept you as a hijabi. They will want you to conform. They would want you to change your ways. They would want you to change your behavior. Even your hijab, they would want you to pull it back to an extent where now you realize, oh, you know what? Now that you'll say to yourself, and the devil will definitely entice you. You'll say to yourself, you know, my hijab is already halfway off, so might as well take it off. There's no point to it. I'm already in the mess. So, you know, that doesn't mean anything. And that's what we're faced with today, that, hey, I'm already long gone, so might as well even, you know, do everything else. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, I'm already lost in the millions. And that's sad. And that's sad. And a lot of girls don't realize that. You will never be happy trying to become someone you're not. You will never be happy trying to become someone you're not. You know, if an industry or a group of circle or a circle of friends or a circle of family or a circle of people, if you have to change yourself to fit into them, you don't belong there. You don't belong there. If you have to change yourself to fit in, you don't belong there to start with. If you have to change the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you behave, just to fit into this industry, then you do not belong there. Run for your life. And that's That's the reality that we're facing today. That is the saddest thing, because a lot of girls are becoming someone that they're not, to be accepted, to go far in the industry. And there will come a time where you have to choose your deen or choose this dunya. And unfortunately, this dunya is made to glitter. It's they make it glitter for you. They make it gold for you. They entice you. They pull you in. And this is the moment that if family, if parents haven't instilled values and understanding of the deen, understanding of who that person is, if they haven't advised them or continue to advise them, this is the moment that a lot of people fail. It's because they choose the dunya over the deen. And if you choose the dunya over the deen, you fail. You think you're achieving, you think you're gaining ground by choosing the dunya, when the dunya is owned by Allah. How can you gain, how can you move forward in life? How can you gain, happiness and tranquility in choosing the dunya if you're forgetting God? When happiness is from Allah, when tranquility is from Allah, you accept the dunya, you go into this industry who is stripping you naked, thinking that it will make you happy. And then you see all these celebrities, all these people who are in the industry, who were born in the industry, who are telling you, this is not the place to be, who have left the industry, who Dave Chappelle walked away from $50 million, $50 million, whatever the reason is. He has chosen himself over money. He has chosen himself over money. Because he realized that this contract involves a lot more, than just the millions of dollars. You have to sell your soul. You have to sell your soul to the industry. You have to give up who you are, what you represent, to get what you want. And wallahi, this is something to really think about. And Halima Aden, I respect you for that. You've shown that nothing in this life is worth it if it means you have to lose your deen. And I applaud you. I applaud you 100%. I've always had respect for the Muslim woman, irregardless of her decisions. But for what you have done, I respect you a whole lot. And it shows to the youth, to the young girls, that if it ever comes down to you having to let go of your deen to satisfy your dunya, your desires, let your desires go. Choose your deen. And this clearly shows that every parent should be involved in their child's life, to be a constant reminder, to advise them with wisdom, because there'll come a day where your child will be given a decision on whether they should choose the dunya or the deen. And you hope that you instilled so much in them that they choose the deen. And Halima Aden, my respect is to you. I can't say that enough. My respect is to you and the decision that you made. May Allah bless it, because what you do for the sake of Allah will always be a blessing. And more blessings is to come to you, your family, your community. And I hope that you continue to be a role model for the kids. I hope you continue to be the role models for also the adults, that, you should always choose your deen over the dunya. And to anyone who wants to be like someone, please be like the Prophet's wives. Be like those who, showed excellence. Because we will always fall short. As human beings today, as long as we're alive, we will always fall short. And I don't want anyone losing hope because of someone that they looked up to made a bad decision. You know, I want that whoever is looking for excellence, whoever is looking for role model, should look to those individuals, because they're long gone, but their character and who they were and what they stood for will always remain. And they always chose the Deen. So, may Allah save us all. May Allah keep us on the Deen. May Allah, keep the devil away from us as far, as far, as far that he needs to be. May Allah protect us from our enemies. May Allah protect us from those who we know and those who we don't know as being our enemies. May Allah protect us from them, because sometimes the devil comes in all shapes and sizes. All shapes and sizes and forms. And you have to always stay strong against the devil.